Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Rekt Reviews, movies and entertainment analysis using the latest in beer goggle technology. And here are your dubiously qualified hosts, Erik, Paul, and Christopher.
And we're back for another week of Rekt Reviews. And Christopher is just doing the robot dance or something.
It's like a malfunctioning robot.
That was your evil voice.
Yeah, I was like NPRing it up in here. Welcome to Rekt.
I'm trying to keep things classy here.
That's what you want on a show called Rekt Reviews.
Yes.
It's class.
Yes.
That screams class.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And featuring Shark. I was supposed to say at the very end, but featuring Shark.
Hello there.
Next week we'll have the new bump in.
Yes. Starring Shark.
Wow. Starring Shark.
Did you keep the dubiously qualified part in there?
I did, but
Because Shark actually has a film degree. He's actually qualified.
He's the only professional amongst us, I guess.
Yeah, but I've used it so much. So
Shark's taking a directing break to come and talk about movies.
Absolutely.
Other movies, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, this is exciting. All four of us are finally here together.
Yeah, first time.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing.
Isn't it?
Now, what are we drinking tonight?
Let's get started with that.
How are we getting wrecked?
Nah.
I think we should start with Paul.
We should start with me because I'm a big sissy, and I'm drinking hot tea.
Why are you drinking hot tea, Paul?
Because I've been sick for like a month, and I can't shake this cough, and every time I drink, it knocks me on my ass, and I have to start all over again. So
live and learn.
I'm going to sit one out today.
Oh, my God. I wish every time I drank it knocked me on my ass and I could start over again. If I could have one superpower.
I think I'm getting wrecked off Christopher's vape fumes, though. He came in here like a Mack truck.
I like to signify my entrance.
It's a very most elaborate vape system I've seen, too. Like the little like eyedropper here.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that's a super simple one, right? That's the one that's just like a flashlight battery.
I was going to say, this is it's the standard atomizer where it's literally just a tube that holds a battery, and you just press it to make the connection go to the atomizer. It heats up and just vapes. So it's actually the most simple, but
smacks.
But it's like
it's a way to show
powered.
Because last time we did Muffin Man, which is cracked me up.
What's this one?
This one's Smacks, and it's actually Smacks. Okay, so it's Smacks Company.
Like the cereal with the frog?
With an X, though.
Sugar Smacks.
So they don't get sued. So they don't get sued. And the flavor is Mafia Princess.
Mafia Princess?
Get the hell out of here. Mafia Princess.
Yeah.
Wow.
There needs to be a contest, like, what's the most ridiculous names? Is it craft beer? Is it the vaping? Is it medical marijuana? Like, what is...
Medical marijuana is giving it a run for its money as far as, like, just weed names versus, like, vaping names. But, yeah, there's the Milkman, the Muffin Man.
Mafia Princess, that's Sharon Stone from Casino, right?
It is literally endorsed by her. It's her on the cover.
Tastes like her.
Give you the thumbs up. Yes.
So far, the vape names are better than the weed names. I got to give it up. And we're getting you a shirt that says Mafia Princess on the front now.
With Sharon Stone on it?
All right. And I want it bedazzled.
And what are you drinking over there?
Oh, it'll be bedazzled.
There's no question, of course. All my clothing is bedazzled. I'm drinking the Rogue Farms Pumpkin Patch to continue on my last week. I think I had...
Halloween's over, bro. Get over it.
Blasphemous.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of in the in-between phase between now and Christmas. I'm already playing Christmas music. It's on. Like, I've kicked it into full gear. But until the Christmas beers start coming out, it's just going to be the last remnants of...
Are there Thanksgiving beers?
Yeah.
There's seasonal everything.
I think those kind of get lumped in with pumpkin.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
do.
I'm pretty sure pumpkin
they do.
Just November.
Yeah, it's like Oktoberfest and pumpkin, and then
yeah. So I'm sipping on that. I think last week or a couple weeks ago I did Night Owl Elysian. I remember we were talking about, or Elysian Night Owl. Yeah. And that is delicious. This one's a little bit more beer flavor than pumpkin. The last one tasted straight up like cinnamon.
Yeah,
cinnamon.
I had Elysian's Great Pumpkin Ale a couple of days ago, and it was like dessert in your mouth. That's pretty much what it was.
That's the last place dessert should really go, in my opinion.
Beer's got to be more beer.
Just straight up beer. This one is more leaning towards that, which is my complaint with usually with beers that are themed or whatever, is that it tastes like beer and then slightly. So Elysian was cool where it was straight up cinnamon in your face.
Yeah, they went 100% on there.
Yeah, on the
one I
flavor.
tasted. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no mistaking that flavor. Anyways, who's the next guy?
I'm going very simple. I have a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and a Corona Extra. La cerveza es más fina.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
And
Not like this guy over here.
I am doing a vanilla porter by Latitude 33, which is new to me. I haven't had any of their beers, so tonight's my first one.
That's actually a pretty good beer.
Yeah.
Vape master over here.
I'm currently just getting cluttered.
You can
My
use
beer tastes like
your cough button if you need to.
Yeah, you actually did, but it was the other cough button you were using. That's why everybody heard you vape. So
I thought it was so responsible.
That loud sucking sound that you just heard, and then
That was me drinking my beer.
don't attempt to adjust your radio. There's nothing wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not radio theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also have a cooler here full of Heineken Light to celebrate 007 coming out.
Nice.
So,
Which tune in next week.
oh
for
man, I'm
007.
going to see that thing twice next week. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What if it really sucks the first time?
Then I'm going to double down and give it more of my money.
You know what?
Maybe it'll suck less.
The Bond series, it's really getting better. I actually like it. See, you're doing it again. See, this is your cough button here.
Whose is that one?
I think that one's mine. That one might be mine.
That one might be yours.
No? Okay, so I was using it right the first time.
No,
All right.
No, it's this one.
Here, this is you right here.
The first time
Yeah, that's you. All right.
So Shark, you'll be in charge of the cough button.
All right, yeah. You guys were telling me though you didn't like what was the last one with James with Pierce Brosnan? Die Another Day. You guys did not like that one? With the invisible
Which
car,
which
Madonna.
Was that?
Wait, those are two different ones, right?
Die Another Day
Or are those
was
the same ones? Madonna and the
Madonna, Invisible Car,
I remember
Ice Palace.
zero things about that movie.
Yeah, that.
It was to do with diamonds in his face or something.
I didn't like
Oh,
any.
yeah.
I didn't like any of the ones with Pierce Brosnan.
Was Halle
Pierce
Berry in
Brosnan-
it?
Yes. Wait. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
I
the worst
remember.
Bond girl.
I remember
Yeah.
something with Ice and Halle Berry, and that's all I remember.
And scorpions, right?
They
No.
tortured him using scorpions in the very beginning after he
Okay.
was surfing, which is always
This
a bad
is coming
sign.
back like a bad dream.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. So.
Always a bad sign when they're surfing.
Pierce
or skateboarding.
Brosnan and Timothy Dalton, worst Bonds ever.
I actually thought they weren't bad Bonds. They were just in the shittiest of the movies.
You know what?
Like,
Yeah,
like
guess
I don't.
that's it, yeah.
I don't know if they were what. I don't think they made it bad. I think they were just given.
Yeah, because I thought Pierce Brosnan was kind of born to be Bond.
Yeah.
Like after the Remington Steele stuff, but the movies were just terrible. They were horrible.
Yeah. I will agree with you on that.
You guys didn't like Tomorrow Never Dies, really?
No,
I
that's
never.
the newspaper one, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
let's.
I want newspaper. I want it on TV. I want it on internet. I want it in magazines.
Was that which one was Christopher Walken? He was the.
Oh,
the
that's-
villain.
That was View to a Kill.
View to a Kill. That's it. Okay.
That one is so good it's bad, I hear. I haven't watched any of the old ones.
That's
'Cause
the old.
then-
That's the last Roger Moore one, I think. Or
Yes.
I think so.
That was him at his campiest, I think.
it was like he's like I don't know, like
Yeah.
late 50s.
Oh, and sleeping with 20-year-olds and
Yeah.
stuff? Oh, man, that was James Bond as a parody of himself.
It's probably creepy if you watch the thing now.
Yeah, when they were doing comedy Bond, that was not good. Moonraker.
I think the new one, the Daniel Craig ones, kind of got stepped up. I'm thinking maybe because of like the Bourne movies, where you kind of have to make your spy movies a little more serious
Gritty.
now.
Yeah.
Grittier.
Quantum of Solace was a straight up felt like a Bourne movie.
Yeah.
Like it was shot and
I like that though. I like the fact that they're playing up that Bond is he's an assassin basically. He's a smooth criminal.
Yeah, they kind of, with Pierce Brosnan it was all suave and then kind of looking to the camera and saying a pun still. Whereas with Daniel Craig, I like how they played off that in the first movie, especially when they asked him what drink he was having. He's like, do I look like I give a damn?
Nah.
Yeah.
I was like, woo!
I liked in the last one, like, when he met with Q and Q just gave him a gun.
Yeah.
He's
That
like, what do you expect? An invisible car or something? He's like, no, you're a freaking agent.
Yeah, he's like, it's fingerprints, so
Yeah.
nobody can shoot it but you. And that was it.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. It's like, it's not about the gadgets, it's just about cold hard Bond doing
Yeah,
Bond things.
a lot more parkour in these Bonds. Him hanging onto the elevator in the last movie was pretty badass, I must say. And that whole scene was shot so well. But we're probably going to get into this a lot more next week.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. Well, what are we on? What are we talking about this week?
Well, Eric? What are you drinking? The vanilla porter?
The vanilla porter, yeah.
That's right. Okay. All right. Latitude 33.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good beer.
Yeah.
Kids, you should drink beer. No, that's bad. But when you can, you should drink Latitude 33.
Tell the children drinking out there.
They're doing it already.
Probably. At least, drink responsibly and drink good beer. That's what I say. But,
yeah. I guess there's a place for Pabst though.
There's a place for Pabst.
Everybody's got to have a PBR every now and then.
Yeah. And the best thing to do is to have it in a glass bottle, where it's just the classiest version of Pabst.
No. You got to get
It's got to be a can.
A 22-ounce can in a paper bag.
You got to pop
That's what you got to
top.
go for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's got to be a sound.
That's what I'll do with my hot tea. I'll just drink it out of a paper bag, so I still look like
You get
I'm
busted.
hardcore.
Yeah. Start an internet
One
revolution.
of my favorite lines in the movie from Blue Velvet. It's like, what are you drinking? Heineken? Fuck that foreign shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh man, I tried watching that movie the other day because people say how good it is, and that movie is an uncomfortable watch.
It's hard to watch.
It was Netflixing, and it was several attempts at like in 10-minute blocks watching that movie and being like, okay, now he's gonna say some badass shit. Here we go, and he would like kiss the other dude, or they would always do something weird where I'm like, here we go, it's gonna get badass, and they would just go weird with it.
Most of it doesn't make much sense, but it's like one of those movies you just sit there and watch and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah, but just how it's regarded, where people are like, Blue Velvet, you gotta see that. I would feel like that's one of those that's too weird for most people, but it's always, when people tell me about it, they're like, oh, what a great movie.
Sound like a film class movie, right?
It really is, and it's like, it's one of my favorite movies, but it's not really a good movie. It's one of my favorites just because of certain scenes and because of certain things that happen in it. But the movie as a whole is just kind of dumb, really. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's cool to watch. I guess just aesthetically, just to kind of see it. But that one in Mulholland Drive, I thought Mulholland Drive.
I never saw Mulholland Drive.
I tried it. I couldn't do it. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Even it's always an interesting thing when you can go now with the internet. You can hop on and there's the whole world's theories right there. And so there's got to be somebody smart enough to have figured out what the guy's saying. And then it's always frustrating where they're like, nobody really knows. He could be saying this or he could be saying this, but either one's not that satisfying.
I just thought it was bad. It was just everything was bad. There's two movies that people seem to love that I don't understand. One is Mulholland Drive and the other one is Boondock Saints. And I don't know if I'm offending any fans here, but that movie fucking sucked.
Boondock Saints is another one that, like, I like the movie, but I like the first half hour.
Yeah.
Like because of the setup and everything, and then
it's like a setup and a punchline, and then an hour of just dragging it out to no purpose.
Ridiculousness, like and then. But a really good job by Willem Dafoe in it. He was a lunatic. So,
that was cool.
Yeah,
that's probably the only part I really liked about that movie.
Yeah, that's the only part I remember. I've seen it once. It was a long time ago. I remember it being way more styled than anything else.
It's a cult. It's a cult film, and then the second one is a complete waste of time. Don't even.
It reminds me of kind of like The Crow. That was just like all style. And zero substance to that thing.
But you know what? The Crow is one of my favorite superhero movies.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's just dark and sinister. That and Watchmen.
It's very nice.
I love
Watchmen is so good.
Love Watchmen, yeah.
So good. And that movie gets hated on for doing exactly what they should do, which is just stick to the source material.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Exactly. They stuck right to the source material. It was just like the
changed the ending
novel.
a bit, but
but still.
But it was
like,
actually
for the most
I think it was for the better for the most part, actually.
Yeah, if you can't do that whole side plot thing, you can cut out a lot of that movie. Or else it would have been even longer than it was if you had the whole alien thing where they're researching it.
Great credit sequence in that movie. Like the opening credits of that movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got through so much backstory.
Yeah. Beautifully done.
Yeah. That movie was great. I saw that one at midnight when it came out. There's guys dressed as, Dr. Manhattan, all in blue, butt naked, of course.
With a blue dong hanging out.
Yep, blue dongs out, just putting down the towel, and just sat down in the theater.
That's considerate. That's good.
They were nice guys. Yeah. They were nice. I got a poster actually because they do the thing beforehand where they're amping up the crowd.
Right.
They're asking easy questions. He's like, "Who's the director?" I was able to get that one. I was right in front of him though, so it kind of felt like cheating because I very quietly just put up my hand, whereas everyone else was yelling. He was like, "You."
Well, I have a question for everybody. How do you feel about them remaking the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
First I heard of it.
Yeah, and
This is the first I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay, and the transgender actress from Orange is the New Black is playing Dr. Frankenfurter.
Was she in that new one that the Matrix guys did?
I don't know, possibly.
Because that's the only transgendered actress I know, and she was one of these where I didn't know she was transgender until they
the
kept...
black girl?
Yeah.
No, the white girl.
This is the black girl from Orange is the New Black.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Really, really big black girl.
So it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, and but you know what? Certain films you should not remake. It's like, how are you going to remake that movie?
Easily.
It'll be different.
Easily.
But it's dumb. It's like
it is. That's what its strong suit is, though. Is it's dumb and campy. And so,
well, no, that's what I mean. I don't think you can. I mean, you can't recapture what they did in that.
Yeah, it'll have to be a different movie.
Yeah.
You could have the same name, but
you gotta have Meatloaf in it.
There's so many good things about it. Yeah,
you gotta. Yeah, well,
he's still alive. He's still around.
He comes in off the motorbike. I will get up and start clapping.
He's probably not doing a lot.
Yeah,
he's probably available.
It was probably his idea in the first place to remake it.
Yeah, he was in Spice World.
He's the producer, huh?
Yeah. There's got to be somebody who made that. Yeah, but for the campiness factor of it, like Shark said, you can't recapture. You can't strike lightning twice.
Yeah.
Can anyone?
You can't capture lightning in a bottle.
Can anyone rename a movie that got remade that was better than the original?
The Thing. Just kidding.
Actually,
the remake.
That was a prequel.
The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing is a remake of
the 50s, right?
Yeah, the 50s. Yeah, and I would agree that is a good example.
I mean, of course, The Thing.
That's a far better movie. Yeah.
Red Dragon for Manhunter.
I like Manhunter.
Red Dragon.
I don't even know what they're talking about.
Manhunter was in the 80s, and it was a Michael Mann movie early on.
It was the original, like, Hannibal, the cannibal.
Yeah. Red Dragon was...
the Hannibal movies didn't stick with me. I saw Silence of the Lamb, that was about it.
That movie's badass.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Well, I guess you could say that's a remake of Manhunter, I guess.
Well, they're different books.
They're different books.
Yeah.
Same subject matter.
A remake that's better than the original.
Red Dawn?
Oh my God.
Which I haven't seen.
Well, did anybody see that? Did it even actually ever make it into the theater?
Yeah, because it had Thor in it, so it was a good time to release it.
I think it was out for like a week and a half or something.
Yeah.
Like Shark said last week, for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can't think of a remake that was actually better than.
Yeah, but it gets done all the time.
Always.
Yeah.
I think it's time for a new Ferris Bueller movie, right?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I get Matthew Broderick back.
No, but
as the principal.
As the principal, yeah.
See,
that would be pretty badass.
Here's the bad thing. So what they do now is first of all, because a lot of people in Hollywood just don't have any creativity anymore, and the ones that are creative, their films don't get made, or they get made, but they don't get marketed, and
they're
you're not
indie,
able to see it.
They're like $3 million movies.
Yeah, they're indie movies. So what they do is they remake the old stuff, and then they take a huge star that probably can't act, and they put him in the movie. So if they redid Ferris Bueller, it would probably be like Justin Bieber would be Ferris Bueller, and then I'd have to blow up the theater because there's no way. I can't. Yeah, I can't. That can't happen.
A man lit himself on fire outside the theater in protest.
Exactly. that would be me. He's very large and he's still burning. So.
Currently still burning. You can go down there if you get you now. Well,
his soul is burning as long as this movie's in theater.
Exactly.
I heard an interesting theory was that all the Hollywood executives now are growing up and getting into that age where they're starting to run things. And they're remembering movies from their past when they were growing up, and they're like, "Why not this?" So that's why you get like the Land of the Lost and stuff like that, where people are like, "Hey, what about this movie? Why don't we remake that?"
Or when they redid the Karate Kid with Will Smith's son and Jackie Chan, I almost put a bullet through my head because I was like, "You can't be serious."
Really, I like that one.
It sounds like a good pairing. I mean, if you have
terrible.
Jackie Chan doing it, but.
If you have Jackie Chan, then it's good. But Will Smith's son is just a weirdo.
He is so bizarre.
He's a bizarre kid, and he can't act. And it's just,
I don't know anything about him. He's bizarre. He's weird.
You guys didn't like
read
After
his
Earth?
Twitter. Read his Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I see like about aliens and stuff like that.
Something like that.
I'm into aliens.
Like he types some weird shit.
Well, you know what's really funny to me is that he's like 14 or something like that, 14, 15 years old. And he's talking about how, you don't get a real education in school. Education happens from life. It's like, you're 15. What the hell do you know?
He's dropping some wisdom.
Yeah,
14-year-old wisdom.
And then people actually listen to him like, oh, he really knows what he's talking about. Like, really? Does he?
Dude, that kid.
That's like Kim Kardashian. She's out there dropping knowledge too.
Oh man, this is gonna be this week with the Kardashians. This is gonna be Shark's Corner. Every week.
Yeah, I can't talk about them because we'll be here all night.
Let's talk about Sicario. I think we've killed enough time.
Let's talk about Sicario.
Everyone's nice and wrecked.
All right,
Good to go.
Sicario. Good God. All right, so how do you want to approach this? From just a brief setup real quick, Paul? You want to give it to us? You've probably seen it. You and Shark have seen it most recently.
Yeah.
It's been about a month, so I might be a little foggy on a few things, but.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The plot itself it's kind of all over the place, I think. You know, so you have, is it Emily Blunt?
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Oh, yeah.
Very pretty lady.
Oh, yeah.
She's got ugly eyebrows in it.
She is is she DEA?
She's FBI.
She's FBI.
She's FBI. And so the movie opens with them in, you know,
Somewhere,
a shootout.
New Mexico?
Somewhere in New Mexico, and there's a shootout. And
Arizona.
Chandler,
Arizona.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a shootout, and then she gets recruited into the DEA for some special mission because she knows the most about this particular drug cartel guy. And then it kind of goes from there, what she learns and what she kind of goes through and her whole learning and that sort of thing.
It wasn't a shootout. They find a house with like 20 dead bodies stuffed into the drywall, and the house is booby trapped, and
a lot of people threw up.
A couple of agents get blown up, and basically kind of the setup is anything, you know, the feds are doing on the state side is not putting a dent into the drug wars.
Can I just say I would hate to like throw up a couple times and then blow up afterwards.
Yeah.
Can you blow me up first?
You know what? I was going to mention that. I actually like that the agents, after they found all the dead bodies, they were throwing up. I was like, because that's what I would be doing.
That was actually a nice little touch, I thought.
Yeah, exactly. It was like real instead of just like, oh, we see this all the time.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
And it wasn't just the rookie either, or like the guy's first day on the job. Oh, I can't handle it. It's like like everybody was throwing up.
But once you identify the smell with the body, then I think that's what will get you.
Yeah, it's the smell.
The visual, plus that.
Now, I think the big question before we get into it is, did you like it or not like it?
I liked it.
How dare you?
I loved it.
Loved it. I think it's probably my favorite of the year so far.
I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I kind of liked it. But see, here was my thing. I think that, well, first of all, Benicio del Toro, he was the bomb in the movie. He's the man. Okay?
Arguably the reason to see it.
The reason to see it.
Yeah.
Absolutely the reason to see it. Emily Blunt's character seemed to me to be in like de-evolution. So she starts off as kind of a badass in the opening scene, but she morphs into the damsel in distress.
Kinda.
In the rest of the movie. Like she kinda, and
I didn't like that she was putting the brakes. And I know we discussed this last week, but I didn't like that she had to be the one going like, I'm not into this. You know, I'm going to blow this all up. I'm not into it. Because as the audience member, you're like, what are they doing? What are they doing? What's going on?
Well, she's kind of out of her depth, and that's kind of the whole point is that she's out of her depth, and she's really being used.
Right.
And then like it's kind of the whole movie's like is soul crushing for her. Like her ideals are like shot by the end of the movie.
That they're both playing dirty.
You're right.
Both sides.
But like there are certain scenes like so when they and again, so you have to have the suspension of disbelief because like in the the shootout on the bridge. These are spoiler alerts for everybody, by the way, if you haven't seen it. So
what? Yeah, go see it. Kids, go see Sicario.
So
while you're drinking beer.
They go to Juarez, Mexico, and they get this cartel guy that they have to transport back to the States for trial, I assume, or whatever.
For interrogation.
For interrogation.
I don't think he gets a trial.
Now here's the thing.
Draw them out.
Yeah, so
he gets a drain to bleed into. That's all he gets.
Yeah. So they drive him. I'm like, they flew to Juarez, Mexico in a private jet. Why didn't they just put him on a jet?
I think they flew to whatever
El Paso,
and they drove across the border.
Okay. Now, so here's my thing. So they do this all the time. Like, so they get into, they're driving him and they're on a bridge or whatever. They're crossing the border. They're crossing the border, and they set that whole thing up because they said if they try anything, it's going to be at the border. So you kind of know something's going to go on. And then, so Benicio del Toro, he sees as they're crossing the border, he sees all these cars, these guys have guns, and he can tell that they're like cartel guys. So they end up having a shootout. Now, she's supposed to be this trained FBI person, and he tells her, take out your service weapon. And she kind of rolls her eyes like, ugh. Like, oh, really? Why are we doing this? So she takes that up, and he even says, okay, there's a gun. The guy has a gun in that car. And so all the DEA agents and whoever the hell they are, they end up killing these guys.
Right.
But she's sitting in the car going, we can't do this. This is illegal. I'm like, well, the guys have guns and they're shooting at you. What else are you supposed to do?
That's where me as the audience member being dumb, I'm just like, yeah, obviously shoot them. But then I think her character is supposed to be so aware of procedure that she's like, we shouldn't be
their
here.
rights.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I
don't think that encounter went down textbook-wise.
Right. Well, I think that's where my sensibilities get a little bit skewed, because I'm like, well, the guy got out of the car with the gun. Benicio del Toro told him, put the gun down, and he even said, do you want to die?
Yeah.
And the guys they just started shooting, so the DA guys were like, okay, well, we're just going to shoot everybody.
Yeah.
And now, yes, that's not procedural at all, I would imagine. I'm not in the DEA.
For them to be there.
Yeah, they can't be there, and they can't shoot people, especially when it's not just them crossing the border. It's like a whole bunch of civilians, and they're shooting up everything. But I'd be like, well, they are shooting at us, so
to move a
what's a young DEA guy to do?
Yeah, to move a step ahead, I think that movie, the twist at the end, because the great thing about it was that they showed the other side of it, which really fleshed out the movie a lot. Because there also would have been a very standard just cop movie or, spy kind of thing.
You talk about like
the dude on the other side. Good. Okay. I'm glad this break is coming. You know what, listeners? I'm glad. This
we need this break.
We'll figure this out. We'll straighten it all out after a break. You're listening to WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in internet talk. This is Rekt Reviews. We'll be right back after these commercials. Stay tuned.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
Black MP Living Water is a revolutionary drink for athletes and people alike. All natural, organic sports performance beverage that contains humic and fulvic minerals, naturally occurring electrolytes, first generation SBO probiotics, alkaline water with stable pH of 10. Athletes need solid nutrition. Black MP is the answer. Designed by athletes, for athletes. Train hard, eat clean, drink Black MP. Just visit the website blackmp.net. Use promo code CSKeys to get a very special discount.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Besides the hard work of our incredible WS Radio staff that has decades of experience in the broadcast industry, one of the reasons WS Radio sounds so good is we use Orban technology. We are not alone. Over 50,000 professional broadcasters can't be wrong. From radio, TV, streaming to hardware and software, Orban has been supplying the broadcast industry for nearly 30 years. Great customer service and continued R&D separates Orban from the rest. Learn more at Orban.com.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Rekt Reviews, movies and entertainment analysis using the latest in beer goggle technology. And here are your dubiously qualified hosts, Eric, Paul, and Christopher.
And Shark.
And Shark.
Shark.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so as I was saying before the break, the movie fleshes it out really well, or fleshes out the story really well by having both sides of the film. You see a guy at first that you don't know what his deal is, and he's on the other side of the border in Mexico. You see him with his family, everything like that. Always great in movies to lead you in like that because you think it could be some twist ending or have a lot of weight.
Yeah, he actually turned out to be not super significament as far as the story goes.
Which is almost to its benefit because then it makes you think because you're like, oh, as a Hollywood movie, he's either the guy or he's going to be, somebody's going to pull off a mask and be like, it was me or something like that. But it ended up kind of just giving you more to think about.
Right. And it did, but I think he did end up being kind of a significant part because at the end, he was actually a bad cop. Like he was helping them like unload drugs or something,
which kind of spoke to the movie where it's like this is just the way things are.
Yeah,
as we were talking about before the break, where it's like that's just the way things are. Like these are families
you're affecting families at this level.
Like these are all people, even though they're just caught in this drug trade.
Into it.
And because nobody was really like James Brolin was kind of a bad guy, but not really. He's like, hey, this is I'm not doing this for bad reasons. I'm trying to stop the drug trade.
So it was great. I think the thing that would have been, at first, I thought it was going to be the guy when Emily Blunt in that first shootout shoots one dude through the window.
A Mexican police.
Cop.
Yeah, Mexican
the one guy she
cop
shoots. I thought that would have been crazy if that was that guy.
Right.
But it ended up being a little bit better. I don't know. Either way would have been pretty cool for me, but it was a little bit better that the guy ended up playing into the end of the movie. Especially because
it was just another version of the same guy, like another corrupt Mexican cop,
just lost in the shuffle. And I love how they did that because, or else it would have been just kind of a straightforward, just action, not really action, but just kind of like caper movie or like intrigue or espionage.
I will say I do feel like the script is a little pedestrian, but what makes it so good is the direction. Like this is
tense.
This is
scenes.
Definitely a good showcase for this director and like what he can do for a movie.
Right.
I kind of think of a movie like Seven, which has a lot of style, but again, like the plot to that movie is also fairly standard. Like, it's a standard like cop, detective movie.
Well, with this one also, like everything seemed super realistic. It didn't look like a stupid like action movie. Like there's, this is how it's done. This is like the fight scenes, the the shootout scenes. The night vision.
Even her wrestle with Shane.
The gunfight. The gunfight at the border. That was intense. That was.
That whole Juarez scene, man.
That was so
I
tense.
just love that whole.
Watching all the cops setting up and everything.
Right. Yeah.
It takes so long to set. That scene was going on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just, like,
and you're just
ramping up the
yeah.
tension. You're like, oh man, the shit's gonna hit the fan.
And it was more just creating that sense of anything can happen from anywhere.
Yeah.
And anybody at some point. And the cop driving next to them for a little bit, like.
Right. Like that was a thing. Yeah. And you not knowing what was good. Like you didn't even know that was like a pickup person or a hostage rescue or whatever.
Right.
Like, you had no idea what's going on.
Yeah, the film doles out its information very well as far as just keeping you in the dark, the audience in the dark, so you think a lot more is happening that's going on.
Well, that Juarez scene too. So it was so intense as they're driving across the border. It's like slow, really getting more and more intense, and then boom, shoot out for like 20 seconds, and then all right, slow back down, let's go. And that's it. Because then the people at the border. The civilians didn't even react to everybody being killed.
Yeah. That was weird. But probably realistic. People are like, what the?
Like we see this every day. So people got killed. Can we move on now?
Yeah, traffic just slowed down even more.
So when they get the guy back to the States, the prisoner, did they get what's
El Chapo.
What's the intel that they actually got out of him?
They used him to draw out the main drug dealer because they just wanted
where the tunnel was or something.
Yeah,
was that it?
He told him about the tunnel, and then they went.
There was the bank
tunnel.
also.
Yeah,
And that scene where they're getting the information from the guy is when you find out how hardcore Benicio del Toro is.
Why didn't he put his dick in the guy's face? What actually happened?
I
think he was just like,
I don't know what was going on with that. Yeah, I was like,
kind of like Blue Velvet, where I'm like, this is bad. What the?
I think it just makes you uncomfortable. Like he's obviously in that dude's personal space. I don't think his penis was out in the dude's face.
I for a second was like, no way.
It was really weird because they showed it from the back. Like he puts his dick in his face and then he says something like, now you're gonna find out what it is to love God or something like that. I was like, what the hell's going on right now?
And then it goes straight to the drain, right? Like you don't see what happens or anything.
Yeah.
Very cool. I mean, it was the ultimate just alpha male. Just this is like the most animalistic way is just to show this dominance of him just putting his dick in his face where he's handcuffed. Just like, look what I can do.
Well, let's talk about his character, Alejandro Benicio del Toro.
Great movie. Wait, sorry about that. Great use of the name when you figure out what he is.
Yeah, exactly. And
fantastic.
And so, quite possibly one of the coolest characters ever in film to me. I mean,
because he never missed.
Yeah,
he was headshots all day.
Oh, and yeah, he was like the way he was killing people, like with absolutely no emotion or no emotion, no fear, just like And that again, spoiler alert, the end,
holy shit,
when he kills like the dude's family, just like.
Did you guys think he would do it? Like,
at every movie when they do that, like kind of set it up like that, I'm always hoping that they'll go the next step and shock everyone. And that was the one movie where I was so satisfied where I'm like, that's exactly what I would have done.
Well, you notice that they pulled, like they didn't show any of
I love the way it was shot.
Yeah, they didn't show the kids being shot or the wife. They just kind of, they showed him moving the gun.
The way they framed it, I didn't even think he was doing it because like just the way the camera was positioned.
Yeah, you just see him shoot to the left and right.
That whole scene was just horrifying.
It's notable to say that he shot twice, which means he got 2 for 1 with the kids.
No, I think he shot. Oh.
No, twice.
He shot twice.
Boom, boom. Double headshot.
I like the way he killed everybody, like, leading up to that. Like,
fucking brutal, man.
He just drove.
Slit the guy's throat.
He slit the one guy's throat, and, like, he shot the other 3 guys outside, like, so quick. Like they had no idea what was going on, and he shot the one cop. Which
needless, I would say.
But see, like that's why I think we were talking about the fact that he was kind of a throwaway character. But I think the fact that he was a bad cop and Benicio del Toro shot him, you're kind of like, okay, well, he kind of got what was coming to him.
It's almost like in a Bond movie where it just showed.
I just thought he was a witness, so he's got to be dead at that point.
It does go to show that when it gets to that high level of law enforcement in movies, it's like knock them out and stuff. They don't do that in real life. In real life, you shoot them. You don't knock anybody out. There's no tranquilizer darts. They just they take you out.
It's like finish him.
You cannot be another variable in this equation that we're doing in this operation. I think though. It was kind of haunting because it is like in James Bond movies and stuff, they shoot countless just henchmen.
Yeah.
Where you never really care. You're like, woo, nice shot. And that really put a weight behind it where you're like, well, what is this guy doing? That henchman was just collecting a paycheck, you know.
It's like, these are the people you're killing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not like Commando where like Arnold Schwarzenegger shoots like 300 people.
Yeah. You're like, people
who are running into his bullets.
Yeah. And it's like, usually in movies they do the opposite where they show the guy like, robbing somebody or being an asshole or something like that. And then the hero comes in and he tries to mug him and you're like, good, he got what's coming to him. It's the opposite of that where you're like, this guy's on the wrong side, but he's a good guy seemingly. Yeah. Making.
Well, you don't know why he's on the. You don't know what put him in that position.
Well, I think that's,
then they say it because he was like in the movie he was actually a prosecutor. He was a lawyer. He was a prosecutor in Colombia, and then they killed his wife.
I thought we were talking about the Mexican cop guy.
Okay, yeah.
And I assume that's just because he's on the run. That's the way things are. That's why I think the last shot was so significant to show the kids playing soccer is just like this is how things are.
I think that was a cool thing because I think Benicio del Toro's the only one you kind of got any backstory on. They just said it. In kind of in passing and like Emily Blunt, there was no backstory. They just went right into. She's she's an FBI agent. She's divorced. Yeah.
That was weird. Why do you guys think that was important? Was he just trying to size her up or just freak her out?
I think that was just supposed to show that she, most likely because of her work.
It's like she's shorthand for she's career-oriented.
Yeah, career-oriented, no husband, no kids, so, if she gets kidnapped and whatever.
And most of those type of movies where they're like, like recruiting people for special missions. Like, I don't want anybody that has a wife and kids, of thing. Yeah. So
maybe for the suicide threat at the end, it would make more sense.
Yeah.
Than if she had a family and she committed suicide. It'd be like, okay, well, what the hell?
But again, I think they made her kind of stupid. Like, so she ends up with this guy, and so.
I'm talking about the middle part.
Yeah, where she almost gets raped. Yeah,
Shane
so
from
cool.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was so fucking.
I think
intense.
that's the weakest part of the movie.
It is the weakest part of the movie.
The part leading up to that was the weakest, and I talked about this last week, where they start doing the man, you look like shit and stuff, and you're like, are you kidding me, man?
That's
and they have to do
ridiculous.
the partner talk where it's like, hey man, hey bro,
Wasn't she walking around in her bra at that point too?
Nice,
bro.
nice
Time
bra.
for
You
bra.
look terrible.
Yeah, you look terrible. I'm just like, are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so, like, when they do stupid stuff, like, so, when they did their little raid and everything, all the DEA agents and all the guys running around shooting had on masks. And so she walks into the bank, and James Brolin tells her, don't go in the bank.
But that's significant because he doesn't care.
Yeah, but he says, don't go in the bank, but then she gets out, and he just goes, well, I guess you're going in the bank.
She's going in the bank.
Yeah,
I love that.
Told you not to go in.
Well,
and then,
because they could use that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was great. That was great.
They gave her the option of, you know, stay safe, don't show your fucking face on camera to the killers.
And then he says that to her after, like, she's about to get raped, and then they come in and they save her, and he goes, I told you not to go in the bank.
Yeah.
So,
which is an added bonus for him, which is, looking back after you've seen the movie, is even better because you don't know you don't know anything going up. And it makes so much sense that the whole time you're like, well, what the hell? Because they're always already on the operation when she walks in. It's not like they're like, hey, meeting at 6 a.m. We're going to start an operation. She just walks in. And he's like, oh, good, you're here.
Yeah.
And it makes sense afterwards where they're like, the CIA cannot operate within the U.S. borders without a local agency or something like that.
Like
a national agency or something.
Agency attached to it. So they're basically essentially just using her to legitimize what they're doing. Just marginally.
Which is why they didn't want her partner, because her partner was a lawyer.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
He was too square.
He's like, no lawyers.
Squaresville.
Yeah. I like the perceived realism in it because, like we don't know this, but it's speculation. It's like the CIA does what the CIA wants to do.
Yeah.
And whatever the law is, it's like,
I have no doubt we're doing this in real life.
Yeah. We don't care what the law is. We're going to do what we want to do. So,
So badass, though. Love that ending where Benicio del Toro, I was alluding to it last week, where it goes from caper movie, espionage, and then all of a sudden switches to a revenge movie for the last third.
Right.
Where it's all about Benicio.
You shift characters, too. You go from Emily Blunt to him.
Yep. After him. Yeah.
Which is really crazy, but it works so well.
And they do it in such an elegant way where it's just from that fight scene, or not fight scene, but shootout, I guess, the last final, operation they're doing, and all of a sudden switches perspectives to Benicio del Toro. You watch him go through, and all of a sudden, when you get that quick, just enough backstory to know his family was killed, that you're like, these are the bad guys. He's got a motive. Now you have a mini movie right there because they've already set it up. So it's great.
You know what was a big trip to me is that they never explained how he was a lawyer and all of a sudden he's a master assassin.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, they never do explain that. Like he
all
just,
headshots.
He went so crazy that he just went and learned how to kill people.
But I'm kind of glad they didn't
because you don't want to see him training. You don't want
Maybe he was already like Army or something before he became a prosecutor.
Because he holds the gun like a special ops agent too, sideways.
I think
never lost a case.
Yeah, I think I think the whole point of it is how we're discussing it right now. The audience gives the backstory.
Yeah.
It's like
which the best movies do.
Yeah, it's like write the story yourself.
It told you enough information for the story that it wanted to tell.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just can't give it enough praise because of the fact that I think the real kicker for me was just that they showed the guy in Mexico. I think that really gave you at least the illusion that there was a lot more to think about.
Yeah.
Because if not, it would have just been like all hinged upon revealing what it had to reveal. The CIA was using her, that and that, but it actually gave it a lot more weight when you saw that this is the way things are kind of thing.
You're talking about the Kingpin guy?
The
cop.
Everyone's Mexican cop guy.
The corrupt cop.
Corrupt cop,
Where it was like, these are guys caught in the crossfire. This is just how things are. And it kind of almost gives more weight because there will be a new guy. Like Shark said, there will be a new guy that takes his place. After he shoots that guy, that's just a revenge movie. It's
a nice parody to the when they're stuck in traffic and then they have the shootout there, just people stuck in the crossfires of what's going on.
But not really even tripping off of it. Just
this is like, every day.
Yeah, it's like sit still, let this play out, and then we'll move on our way.
Yeah. It's messed up.
What did you guys think of James Brolin?
Oh, he's great.
I thought everybody was actually really good in this
Everybody.
movie.
Yeah. He's turned out to be a really good actor. He plays a really, and he's going to be he's Thanos, isn't he? Or in
I think
in
so.
the Avengers,
Oh,
or the Civil War, and all the Marvel shit. Yeah,
I know he's blue.
Yeah,
or blue or purple or something. Yeah.
Speaking of movies that were, to throw it way back, callback, movies that are better than the original, Old Boy, the Spike Lee joint. Which actually is a Spike Lee movie.
Yeah.
Because he edited so much he wouldn't put joint.
I actually liked this Old Boy better than the original.
No. Shark, don't do it. Don't do it.
I liked it because, so the original, some of those Japanese movies are really, really out there, you know. And so the Old Boy, it followed the plot, but to a T, but you could kind of follow it more. It wasn't as weird. You know what I mean? I just, you know what? Maybe it's because I'm American. The sensibilities are.
The only thing I like is that there's titties in the American version.
A lot of titties.
Yeah.
A lot of titties.
What's her name? The other Olsen twin.
Yeah. and that was weird because she was his daughter. He ended up having sex with his daughter.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, it was like, ugh.
What the hell are you guys watching?
What are you talking about?
That was hot.
I know of the movie. I have not seen it.
It was hot before I knew, and it was hotter after.
But you know what? So it was weird. So he had sex with his daughter, but he didn't know that it was his daughter. And then the other guy, the crazy guy, had an incestuous relationship with his entire family. It was like his son and his daughter. It's a weird movie.
But
are we on Crimson Peak again?
That was hot too.
We should have an episode of incest movies.
Is there more than
sick
one?
That day.
Nah, I keep checking.
Let's watch Lolita. Sure.
Oh God. Yeah. You know what? So Sicario reminded me a lot in kind of the style of Traffic, the movie Traffic.
I need to see that again. I was too young when I saw that first.
Yeah, that Traffic is a really good movie, and you'll see a lot of San Diego in that movie too. So,
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they shot.
It's a little more black and white from what I remember. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but
I just remember the
probably
pool.
Watch it.
They're doing the interrogation of the pool because that's where they're safe.
Yeah,
because nobody can do shit in the pool.
So the kind of the big reveal in Sicario with Josh Brolin's character, where he sort of spells it out for Emily Blunt.
When he was wearing flip flops. No, sorry.
That was weird too.
Camera pan down.
Yeah. he just doesn't care. He's bad.
I think it was at the point because there was a lot of stuff that they showed in this movie. It's like, okay, what did that mean? Like it's like they showed it for no reason.
It just means the rules don't apply to him. That's why the
now
flip-flops.
Thinking about that, what was up with that? Because at first you're like, oh, this renegade hippie.
He likes to be
CIA
comfortable.
guy.
You know.
Well, they showed it from her point of view.
He had a blister. He's trying to get some air.
And that's kind of the point. He's comfortable, like, in this whole chaos. He kind of loves it.
Like, he sleeps on the plane. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's chill through the whole thing. And kind of, the big thing that he explains is that, with Medellin, is that they're basically the big plan is for the CIA to kind of basically gain control of the drug trade, sort of the way they did back in the 80s with, Escobar and Freeway Rick Ross and all
Ricky Ross.
So is it
that stuff.
They want to? It's okay if there's a drug trade. At least they can be in contact with the higher ups that are running it.
I think that was part of it, but I think also they were like, we'll have less
less of the violence on the street.
We'll have less of the violence on the street if there's no competition from the Mexican drug cartels.
Get a monopoly going. Get the CIA cut into it, controlling it.
And it will stop being on television. It'll stop, there won't be any news about it because nobody's dying. So, so they can.
Which is really how it started out.
The scene I didn't like the scene in the tunnel because it was like doing a video game almost with the
night vision
night vision stuff.
Yeah, that was kind of out of place.
It was like Call of Duty or something.
That's what I thought too.
To mention the direction that Eric was talking about earlier, there were some scenes where they did them in the car, like the cameras in the car, and the characters go out of the car, and the camera stays in the car to hear the conversation. And I love that they gave you kind of this perspective of just always being slightly out of the loop.
They did that a couple of times with like the conversation happening far away, and like you could barely hear what they were saying.
And just always just on the edge of knowing what's really going on, No backstory.
I'm glad you said that because I think, like Paul, I watched it on a pirated loop, So
bastards.
so it was a little bit hard to hear and see sometimes, and I was like, is that the way the movie is, or is that just my really bad pirated version?
Well, yeah,
for some reason they're speaking Chinese.
When you see somebody get up and walk across the middle of the screen.
Well, exactly. What was really funny was the one I watched. So it had the English subtitles for when they were speaking Spanish, but they also had German subtitles.
Oh. I didn't even get subtitles. I had to try and strain and understand some Spanish, whatever I learned in high school.
You got some Russian mobsters and Paul's all in.
There's some breathtaking shots in there, man. I can't imagine that translating very well to
sunsets, stuff like that.
Yeah, the pirated version didn't translate very well. I'm gonna have to go see it again.
Just like the plane flying over the hills, and you see the tiny shadow just showing you.
That was so cool. I wonder if they CGI'd that in.
I don't think so.
Just a plane going over. Yeah, but I know exactly.
I mean, they got to get up there to shoot the footage anyway.
So you might as well get the shadow.
I couldn't see any shadow in my version.
It kind of gave you a sense of scale. Like, this is all encompassing.
It's all going on below you. Like, it's all peaceful on the top.
And I'm going back to the movie theater to watch it, and I'm going to pay money for it.
Yeah.
I only did it to...
Can you take back your Crimson Peak money? And put it towards this somehow.
Ask them very politely, man. Please have my Crimson Peak money
Give me back my money, and I'll just go watch Sicario.
You should say it. Don't even give me back. We're just going to do a straight trade. I came here to see Crimson Peak last week, and it sucked ass.
Yeah, I want
so I think you should let me in free to see Sicario. Just my thoughts.
It's Crimson Peak update. Everyone still hates it.
Paul didn't get to share anything.
I hate it even more.
I didn't hate it in the movie. You know what? Or actually, I really liked the first half of it. Like up until they got married and moved to the stupid house, I thought it was a really good movie. And after that, it just kind of fell apart.
Because we saw it together, and I even think you even mumbled out loud, like when they showed the shot of like there's no ceiling, you're just like, what the fuck? I'm peace out of there.
Go
I thought
home.
It blew. Yeah. It was like she married him like, aren't you a rich guy? Why is your house falling apart? I don't understand.
You know, we left a perfectly good house that had a roof.
Yeah.
It's not liquid.
but that your house doesn't have disgusting red clay flowing down the walls.
Yeah, and I have a better question. Why do we live with your bitch sister? What's going on here?
Oh, before I forget, Krampus.
Krampus. Have you seen the trailer for this, Chris?
That's Krampus.
Krampus.
Yeah, is that the Adams? I had
Adam Scott's in it. Yeah.
Was on a podcast talking about it.
I want to see that movie.
That was the best.
I think we should see it.
The best part of Crimson Peak was the trailer of Krampus,
the anti-Santa Claus.
So if anyone hasn't seen this trailer, and probably I assume people haven't, it starts out. It's cool the way they set up the trailer. It starts out like a stupid cheesy Christmas movie.
Yeah. It looks
terrible. And then all of a sudden it turns into like this monster movie.
I'm down.
Isn't it sad that 9 times out of 10 the trailers are all better than whatever film you go see?
Well, that's a 2-minute movie, basically.
Yeah.
Like, you can set things up way better. And that's all, like, with movies in general. The questions are better than answers.
This is like, that's the one joke thing. This is lingering on us. The movie might not even be any good. Because we already know the gotcha twist to it.
Yeah, well, you kind of know what's going to happen, but yeah.
It starts out as a horror movie and ends as a Christmas family comedy.
The family learns to come together through trial, and
that would be inventive. Something new.
Because aren't they all like arguing and fighting in the beginning?
Yeah.
And it's just like a dysfunctional family, and probably the trouble brings them together in the end.
Yeah. The best trailer that threw the audience in my recent memory was Red Eye, which is kind of a forgettable movie in itself. But it started out as a romantic comedy with Cillian Murphy and I think the girl from Mean Girls, Rachel McAdams.
Never heard of this.
So they're meeting up in an airport, and it's like a romantic comedy build-up. All the girls are like, oh, maybe I'll go see this, because he's meeting her and stuff. And all of a sudden it switches. He's like, oh, yeah. Then he shows her a picture on his phone. He's like, this is your father? We're going to kill her if you don't whatever, if you don't give us so-and-so. And they're on a plane. Mm-hmm. And it was the best trailer, where it's a mini movie in itself, where it literally just switched gears halfway into the trailer. And it was like,
yeah, that's kind of how Krampus was, too.
Yeah.
That's different. That's very different.
Yeah.
Well, so now, what did you guys like? An overall view, or an overall view of Sicario? Who I personally, like I said, didn't hate it, didn't love it, but I liked it mostly because of Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Very, very tense, thriller, realistic.
I'm with Chris. It's one of my favorites I've seen this year.
I think it might be my favorite this year.
And I have to admit that I probably will like it better if I go
in
and actually
movie
see it in the theater.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be better.
I don't know now though.
And not seeing it, looking through somebody else's window version of it. So
with someone's head in the front, his silhouette.
I did actually see it.
You were high concepting the movie. You're just like, even that much more removed out of the information. Yeah. I see what you're doing.
I did actually, like in the end credits, there was somebody with their head up in the corner. So.
That's the best. That's always the best.
All right, that's it for this episode of Rekt Reviews. We'll be back next week with Bond.
Next week,
Spectre. We're all going to be drinking martinis, shaken, not stirred.
Absolutely.
You're listening to WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in internet talk.
See ya.
See you next week.
Take care.
A podcast or radio show on WS Radio is a great way to create content marketing. Turn prospects into customers into raving fans. Contact Wade at WSRadio.com or call 866-WS-RADIO.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you have helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
Small businesses are the lifeblood of America's economy. Every Thursday, SBA Radio interviews industry professionals and is dedicated to provide small businesses with timely insights and innovations. Visit www.sbaradio.us for details.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.